joining us today to really talk about, what they're doing is Dennis Healy, VP of Sales at ARAG. Good morning, Dennis.
Hey, how are you guys?
We're great. How are you doing?
Very well, very well.
Good. Hey, Dennis, great for you to spend time with us and talk to our audience a little bit about kind of ARAG, where it's come from, and what you guys are doing, and then we'll kind of get into the specifics around your legal benefit product.
Sure. We're a niche provider, I guess, of legal insurance products. We've been offering group legal insurance in the States for around 40 years. We do this typically for larger employer groups, but we've entered down into the smaller employer market with as few as 250 employees where we could offer a program. But actually, we've been doing legal insurance in Europe for more than 75 years. We offer legal insurance in 15 countries. So this is our what we do every day. We consider ourselves the expert in the industry on legal insurance. In Europe, this is a mainstream benefit, and in fact, in Germany, this is a product that virtually everyone has. In the States, it's a voluntary product offered in the workplace, and you typically see somewhere between 15 and 20% of a population will ultimately purchase the product over a couple of years.
Hey, Dennis, tell us specifically. I think most people are confused with legal insurance. Tell us some specifics on how it really works for that consumer and what are the benefits that it provides.
Sure. So when it's offered in the workplace, an employee gets an offer in the fall during their open enrollment period. They might pay somewhere between $17 and $23 a month for the insurance, depending upon the size of the employer group and the plan design that they might offer. So then when the employee goes to use the benefit, they can expect that we're going to be able to help them with almost any legal insurance event that they could have come up during the year. And that could be something like an adoption. It could be as expensive as a divorce. It could be a contractor dispute. It could be a speeding ticket, tax matters, landlord-tenant matters, real estate matters, virtually anything you could think of that we're trying to provide protection for. I think what's different about what people might have seen in the industry is people are very familiar with discount programs. And you'll see that you might get an offer from a legal insurance provider that says if you join our program, you'll get 25% off the cost of an attorney's hourly rate. Ours is really intended to be a 100% paid in full benefit for anything that you call us for. I mean, obviously there's some certain categories like a divorce where we might cap the amount of hours that we pay an attorney to 10 or 15 hours because it could get very expensive. But for most items, it's meant to be paid in full, and the intention of the program is to be able to say, yes, we can help you with whatever it is that you need assistance with.
Yeah, Dennis, you and I had the opportunity to talk earlier this week, and I find it very interesting as to, a lot is talked about wellness in the marketplace. You got the whole emergence of financial wellness as part of that health and productivity. But you talk about the importance of legal and the stress management. I think it makes a lot of sense. Talk a little bit about that and the connection of your benefit to health and productivity within an organization for those individuals within an organization.
Yeah, it's interesting. You wouldn't think that there was a direct connection, but when I look at what an employer's job is, and particularly an HR person, their primary job is to find the best employees that they can and retain those employees and then keep them as engaged at the workplace as they possibly can, right? So at the end of the day, every employer is in the business of being productive. They want to generate as much work to generate as much revenue as they possibly can, and in order for that to happen, employees have to be as engaged as they possibly can. So if somebody's got a legal issue, it can be a very distracting thing. It can be very stressful. It can be very time-consuming, which ultimately causes people to say, well, you know what, I've got this thing that's very important in my life. I've got to deal with it. I've got to deal with it now. And, in fact, if that happens to be during my work hours that I need to settle it, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And whenever anybody's having to spend that kind of time, it's taking away from their engagement at work. Right? And if they're stressed out because they're unable to solve their problem or they don't know where to turn to solve their problem, that's going to start to affect their health. And if their health goes down, all of a sudden you start to see absenteeism, you start to see presenteeism, and reduce productivity for that individual. So what we're trying to do is say, we know you're going to have events in your life. You might have to go through a divorce. Your parent or your mother or your in-law might have to go through a caregiving situation where they're going to have to pick a home health aide or an assisted living facility or look at a nursing home. These types of things can be very, very time-consuming. If you can give somebody resources to research the solution that they need for their situation and enable them to do it really efficiently, you can really get them back to work doing the things that they need to be a great employee more quickly than you would otherwise. So that's our goal, is to be able to say, we can help you overcome these difficulties and get back to doing the things that make you a great employee. But I think in addition to stress, there's a whole theme around empowerment as well. And that people are out there and they think, okay, I've got all these issues that may or may not happen to me. But then there's other things that people are doing in their lives that are really positive that aren't, you wouldn't normally think of as being legal events. You might be putting an addition on your home, or you might be renovating a bathroom or a kitchen, and you're going to work with a variety of contractors. And you may have contracts with those people. You may have written agreements. You might have verbal agreements with painters or something like that. All of these things are things you want to be able to deal with, but you might not look at them as legal events, but they're something that we could help you with. Other proactive events would be like an adoption of a child, or doing a will or a trust or an estate plan.
Yeah. Dennis, I think it's interesting, dude. You're actually taking, I think a lot of we consumers out, if we don't have a regular attorney, we don't know where to look, and that adds stress. Guys, if I go contact an attorney, it's going to be $2,500 before I even open my mouth. And you're taking that stress out of the equation as well. You have a network of attorneys, that you're providing, and you're taking that initial hurdle away from them. You're providing them ready access at an affordable cost as part of their benefit.
Yeah, we see that one of the biggest stressors for somebody that's facing a legal event is that they don't know where to turn. The average person doesn't have an attorney that they rely on. They don't know an attorney. And so the ability to find somebody that they know has been credentialed by somebody like ARAG, that is an expert in this industry, that is actually researching the ability of that person, the fact that they are a specialist in the area of law that they need help with, and then we're giving them a phone number and a list of providers that offer those services, is incredibly powerful. So I'll give you an example. My father-in-law passed away a couple of years ago in California, and my sister-in-law went out there to resolve the estate, and of course she had no idea what to do. She'd never dealt with this type of thing before, and we got online on the telephone with an ARAG attorney in La Jolla, and he said, 15 minutes later, he said, here's the things that you need to solve for. When you've addressed these issues, call me back and we'll figure out where to go. Well, if we try to find an attorney in La Jolla, California that was an expert in this, we'd have been in the yellow pages, versus calling up a legal center and saying, hey, who do you have that's an expert in the issue I'm trying to deal with? Give me a telephone number, and 5 minutes later you're online with somebody that can really help you.
Dennis, when you look at consumerism as a whole, Doug and I have talked about this for a long time. Voluntary benefits have always really been the first consumerism type product, because outside of it being offered as a group benefit, it was a lot of times on a voluntary basis, and I, the employee consumer, had to go out and choose to bring your product underneath my benefits umbrella as that employee consumer. So do you see a big connection to consumerism with your products?
Yeah, I think it's a natural product to offer some choice on. And we do it on a couple of different levels. When we offer the benefit to the employer, we'll typically give them a choice of a couple of different plans to look at. And one would be a base legal insurance program or a comprehensive legal insurance program that would cover a wide variety of legal issues, right? And then we might offer them a higher level plan that would offer all of those base legal coverages, as well as things like caregiver services, identity theft, financial planning and consultation, so that you've got I would call it a 4-in-1 solution that enables you to address a variety of issues that the employee might have in a single stop. So that choice is presented to the employer. They can say, I'd like to offer one or the other of those programs, or they could elect to offer both to the consumer or to the employee. Now the employee has the choice of saying, yes, I'd like to just address these legal issues, or I'd like something that's going to address a variety of life events. And we see employers offering that more frequently, and they have choice of which program they'd like to buy, and we see about a 50-50 split between the programs that people take. So I think as you go even further, we start to look at how are people using the benefits, and you'll see that some people want to do things online. And we've got a wide array of do-it-yourself documents out there, more than 350 do-it-yourself documents that are very interactive. And we're seeing the Gen Y folks saying, yeah, I like to do things myself. I don't need to talk to somebody on the telephone. I don't need to go to somebody's office. I'll go and self-serve for the things that I need. Then you've got telephonic assistance, so somebody could call up like I did with my in-law, talk to somebody on the telephone for 15 minutes and solve it that way. Or somebody's old school, they want to go into the office and meet with somebody, we can facilitate that as well. So really a theme of choice throughout the product offer and in the way that the services are delivered.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Your benefit makes a lot of sense, as this and others, is that, you know, if you're asking me, the employee, and my family to become owners in my decisions and actually spend some of my own money, then give me choice. You know, give me the ability to choose what fits my family.
Right, exactly. So, and you'll see that when you look at a demographic population, and I think this is important to point out, particularly for some of the different types of employers that might be out there, or the different types of brokers that might be out there. With some voluntary benefits, you've really got to focus on a very unique, specific industry type with certain demographics, either higher average ages, higher average salaries, so that they can afford the benefit that you might be offering. With legal insurance, we haven't really seen that there's any economic barrier to entry. So you could have a retail type environment, you could have a hotel chain type environment, and you could have a municipality or a school system where the salaries might not be super large, but that people will still absolutely be having legal issues every day, and the product's affordable enough that you'll see significant take rate within those populations. And as you go through the demographic life cycle, so to speak, younger people are using the benefit for different reasons, maybe landlord issues and speeding tickets. Then as people get a little older and they have kids, they might be developing wills. Unfortunately, later on, maybe their marriage isn't working out and they're trying to deal with divorces. As they get older, they might do a trust or an estate or any time in between. So there's really something in the benefit for every demographic and for every age group.
Dennis, on top of mind with everyone today is identity theft. I mean, we're all concerned about that. You see it in the news all the time, identity theft. You see what's happened with Anthem, what's happening with Target and others. Talk about the connectivity and the benefit that you can provide to, the participants in your benefit in your benefit offering, legal benefit offering.
Yeah, that's, as everybody knows, that's just a huge, huge topic right now. We've heard a lot of concern from our clients. We have about 500 employer groups that we work with, and many of them have contacted us over the last several months because of some of the data breaches that you've just mentioned. And we've actually had a significant take-up rate with employer groups offering identity theft as a component of their legal plan. And you see people, or there's the opportunity to buy identity theft on a standalone basis. But as an insurance company that is already in the marketplace, already has customer service people and claims administration capabilities and financial entities within the company that monitor those things, and marketing and sales, we've got a full-service insurance company. We can add an identity theft coverage to our program at a fraction of the cost that somebody could do it on a standalone basis. So what we're seeing is that employers are saying, yeah, I like the idea of identity theft coverage. I can embed it in my legal plan for a couple of dollars, and that's a much better option than going out and doing it on a standalone basis for a much higher price point.
Dennis, this is Brent. When you look at the private exchange space specifically, I'm going to have some team members of yours speaking at our event in Dallas coming up later this month. What are the opportunities that you see for ARAG in the private exchange marketplace?
Yeah, the exchange marketplace is a great environment, I think, for voluntary benefits in general, and I think most people would agree with that. What we see when you do voluntary benefits, it's all about participation for the employer, for the carrier. If you're going to be successful, you need to get a significant number of people to buy the product. And over the last 10 years of analyzing our enrollments, we've seen consistent themes as to what drives participation. People need to enroll with their core benefits, typically in the fall, with all the other choices, and somebody has to make a decision about every benefit that's available. They need to use the same tool to enroll in voluntary benefits as their core products like health and life insurance. They need to have payroll deduction, and they need to have good tools around how they educate the population about the value of the benefits so that people can make informed decisions, right? So when you look back historically, what drove great participation were those factors. Now, when you bring that to an exchange environment, which is exactly what folks are delivering in this marketplace, is that core enrollment all in one place with great education tools, with payroll deduction. I think you're going to see the best environment to drive participation that we've ever seen before. And when you look at a legal product that can offer choice at a very low price point, we are a natural fit to round out an overall comprehensive voluntary benefits package that delivers a variety of different value to virtually anyone within the population. So it's a great fit for us. We're very active in the exchange marketplace today. We've already seen some early results that verify that we think participation will be very good, and we're optimistic going into 2016 that it'll be even better than before.
Yeah, Dennis, I couldn't agree with you more. I think you're a natural fit, and you've got them when they're being educated and communicated to about their complete benefit experience. Dennis, listen, it's really been great having you on the program. Everything must come to an end at some point in time, and
sure.
Before I let you leave our audience with some clear takeaways, I want to remind our audience that you can visit with the ARAG team down at Private Exchange Forum, where they'll be participating. They're also an IHC affiliate. You can find them on our website. We appreciate, that support from ARAG and you guys connecting with us. And Dennis, again, I thank you for your time. And leave our audience with 2 or 3 takeaways, please.
Well, I think the biggest one would be that this is something folks should be looking at, whether you're an employer, whether you're a broker, whether you're an exchange partner. It's a benefit that can be very easily installed that provides as much or more value than anything else you've got on a per dollar basis. So I encourage you to take a look at the marketplace and see the options that are available and recognize that this can be done very, very easily and be added to your program for the fall. And love to talk to you about it on any level going forward.
Thanks, Dennis, so much. You have a great weekend up there, and we will talk to you again real soon.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for the time.